So, all right, welcome back to the Arsenal podcast with me, Kosi, and of course, welcome to the early Arsenal paper talk, and of course, I think the early Arsenal transfer talk combined. Anyway, we want to talk about Aouar's new bid from Arsenal. For me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Just with 30 million, you add 10 minus Matteo Guendouzi and go back to Lyon. I think we're going to be chased once again. But anyway, I'm going to be talking about it. I'll be talking about Sid Kolasinac because it seems he's very close to his exit, and Edu wants to use Aouar to Arsenal. I'll start with Sid Kolasinac's transfer. Now, Arsenal want 9.1 million for Sid Kolasinac, and Bayer Leverkusen are the club interested. Now, realistically, no one is going to buy 9.2. No one is going to give you 9.1 million for Sid Kolasinac, a free agent that you signed and put on very big wages. Now you want to sell them, and you want a whole lot of money with big wages. I don't think anyone is going to give us 9.1 million. I think the valuation of Sid Kolasinac is around 6-7 million. If Leverkusen are going to give us the money, because they almost got 71 million from the sale of Kai Havertz to Chelsea. So I think they have the money, and they're interested in his services. The player wants to leave as well. He wants to go back to Germany. He has been there before, so it wouldn't be as hard for him to settle down in Germany as it would be hard for him to settle down in Italy. So in my opinion, I think if we can let him go to Bayer Leverkusen, add some money to Torreira's money and to Emi Martinez's money, and get in a decent midfielder like Fabrizio Romano suggested, it would make sense. So we are still looking at cashing in on Sid Kolasinac. Bayer Leverkusen are the party interested, and we will wait until the player actually gets out of the club. There we go. Anyway, the talk of the day is Aouar. A new bid has been launched by Arsenal, £40 million confirmed. Not plus add-ons. That's the truth. Not plus add-ons, because that would be close to 50. Now, the first reports came out and reported that we have taken in a bid of 40 million pounds plus 10 million pounds, add-ons. However, they are not 10 million add-ons. It is 40 million pounds. The mainstream media in UK are reporting that Arsenal actually have gone with 36 million pounds. That is how controversial and contradicting it is. We the most reliable sources, the most dominant figure online and in the papers is 40 million pounds that we have gone back with for Aouar. Big question, does it make sense? After we were just with 30 million pounds, now we are going back to the same club with 40 million pounds. I think this is really ridiculing and fooling ourselves. Lyon have already told us that the player is going to cost us around 60 million euros. Now, if you go with 40 million pounds, that is almost 15 or 17 million less. And the answer is very, very, easy to predict. We are not going to give you the player. And I'll be supporting Lyon if they don't give us the player, because really, I don't know how we are doing our transfer business. How do we go with 40 million pounds as the advanced price, as the advanced bid? Still way too below. Way too below. The valuation of Aouar by Lyon, because for them they value the player at 60 million. And for us, we are valuing the player at almost 40 million. This is the same thing that happened with Thomas Partey, because if you guys remember, for Thomas Partey, we went in with 2 bids, they were rejected, we pulled out of the deal almost. And I think, I'm very confident Lyon is going to reject this bid. Yes, I know there are so many Guna blogs that are writing that Arsenal is very confident we're going to get the player after this second bid. And yesterday, Football.London wrote something very interesting that, maybe the player has played his last game because, he got a red card. Truth be told, if we had gone with 50 million, I'm one of those people who are very optimistic that we shall get Aouar, and I'm very optimistic that Lyon want to sell. I'm very convinced. But I think it would make more sense if we sold the player, or if we bought if we went in for the player with a decent amount of money. 40 million isn't decent. It's not decent for a player like, Aouar. And we guys know that. There is competition coming in from Real Madrid. There is competition coming in from Juventus. And we are leading the race, but, we are wasting it. We are wasting it. I don't think it makes sense. I don't think it makes sense. If you have sold Emi Martinez at 20 million, if you want 24 million for Lucas Torreira, you want 9 million for Sid Kolasinac, why would you want to pay less than 50 million for the service of Aouar? Really, for me, I think he's a top-class midfielder, and we need to pay that money if we are going to get him. This crap of, following online blogs and believing that we are going to get the player no matter what, that, he really wants us and so on. Those stories have been around. They've been around. He wants us. We want him. So what? I think if we don't have the money, I think let us first gather the money. There are some kind of players we can sell at the club to get this money. Instead of going to the market and wasting a lot of time, frustrating the odds and so on, and then look like, very unserious buyers there in the market. Yeah, if we can sell 5 more players this summer, we can afford them. And I think that's the way to go. I think, we don't need to rush in with bids that are not enough. The first bid was way too below, almost half of what we, now the second bid is almost 60% or 55%. And I won't be surprised if Lyon reject it, because they have bagged some 28 million. They're going to bag, 28 million from the sale of Memphis Depay, and they're no longer desperate. This is what I was talking about. If Lyon are desperate, why don't we use that chance? They were desperate. Barcelona is using the chance. They're going to get Memphis Depay, top quality player. He has scored a couple of goals for Lyon last season. They're going to get him at 28 million pounds. Of course, I know the conditions are different. His contract is about to expire and so on. So Lyon wouldn't want him to go on a free transfer. But they were desperate before. We never used the chance. Now they are no longer desperate. They're no longer desperate. They want the money now. They want good money. And can we give them the good money now? That's very, very interesting, man. Very interesting. 40 million pounds out of the 60 million required, way too below average. And I'm still asking myself, why did we go for his bid when we had 2 more players that we could actually sell within this week, and then go with a decent bid next week? We could sell Kolasinac, we could sell Torreira, we have sold Emi. That would be around 20, 35, that would be around 40 million. And then you could add something like 10 million and go in with a decent bid, because this bid ain't decent. That's the truth. It's not decent. It is a half-baked bid that Arsenal, just try to meander around with, maybe to make fans think that, we are still doing some business. And like I said, for me, I won't be surprised if our transfer business has, ended a long time ago. We wake up and we are no longer signing players because our transfer market has ended. Seriously, how do you go with 40 million pounds for Aouar? Reportedly 36. And Ligana was talking about it yesterday night. He said, he was saying that, guys, we went in with 30 million plus Matteo Guendouzi. That was close to 55 million. Now, without Matteo Guendouzi, it's reported that we have 36 million. Now, that means that we have removed Matteo Guendouzi and added something like 6 million to the 30. And Lyon are going to chase us, and Arsenal fans are going to start shouting all over the place. Lyon are greedy or something like that. But really, for you, does it make sense? For me, it doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense. So I think it was a bid that was rushed, not planned. There is no reason as to why we should, we should have, we shouldn't have waited to, for 3 or 4 more players to get out of the team. I know some of them will get out, although the conditions are very hard. But I know some of them are going to get out. Trust me, they're going to get out. Torreira will go, Kolasinac will go, Socrates will go. Let us first do the deadwood out, and then get in some little money if we don't have the money. But these things of bidding, you rejected, then you go back again, then you're rejected. For me, it doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make it doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, away from that, we have that game against West Ham is coming on. So make sure you are tuned into the to the channel. I'll be doing a preview, and I'll be doing a match prediction show for the fans. So make sure you're tuned in. I think we can beat West Ham. I think we can beat West Ham. Honestly, I think we can beat West Ham hands down. Hands down. And those people who participated in the quiz, how many goals did Dennis Beckham score? In this today's question is, how much would you pay for Aouar? How much would you pay for Aouar? And Mohammed said he scored 9 goals in that season. Cisse says he scored 8 goals in that season. Mugume Bernard says he scored 9 goals in that season. Bernard says, this is Gaichin Bernard says he scored 120 in one season. Okay. Blackhawk said he scored 9. So many interesting comments. But anyway, thank you so much for participating in the quiz. Today's question is, how much would you pay for Aouar? We need to get serious, guys. We need to get serious. The transfer window is closing up, and clubs are making themselves better. Spurs, the noisy neighbors we don't want so much, have signed 2 players, 2 quality players. They have Gareth Bale back, they have Sergio Reguilón back. So you have Sergio Reguilón joining Spurs, you have Gareth Bale again joining Spurs. The so-called noisy, underrated neighbors are doing business. They have finished above us in the past, I don't know how many seasons. I remember that was one of the things that Arsenal had, that Spurs never finish above us. But these days it's normal. Whether they have a Jose Mourinho, whether they have a Mauricio Pochettino, whether they're playing Tom Hawkins football, whether they don't have a manager, they are finishing ahead of Arsenal. And now they have 2 great signings. You have Gareth Bale, you have Sergio Reguilón. Those are decent signings, man. Decent. So Arsenal have, we have to tighten up as soon as possible. Anyway, I'll be back with another transfer video, I think at exactly 2. So make sure you tuned in.